If we can ensure that somebody votes when they are at 16 or 18 or whatever age, they are much likely to continue voting. So therefore it makes sense that we look to encourage those from a very early age to vote for the first time. There would be no question but that 16 and 17-year-olds will come out and strongly support the government parties, because the opposition have been all over the place on climate change.
We really see, as I said, more young people engaged in politics and more determined to be engaged in politics. They're much more engaged when it comes to the climate change movement, Black Lives Matter, Repeal the 8, marriage equality. Young people these days are educating themselves more. They're listening and watching social media, what their friends are saying, and that's why we believe the voting age should be 16.
For those who claim that allowing 16-year-olds to vote would compromise their childhood, their futures have already been compromised by their parents' generations' inaction on climate and biodiversity. So I don't accept that. We all know our young people are more concerned than ever about climate and biodiversity and other issues as well. And then we can get them in secondary schools, registered to vote. We need to give 16 and 17-year-olds a right to vote.
I think we need to look at lowering the voter age to 16, something we in Labour support.
At 16, why shouldn't you be able to vote? I just don't think there's any good argument against it.
He met with students and gave an undertaking to work to have the voting age reduced to 16. From the competitive Kerry constituency.
An early introduction to an election candidate.
Absolutely. And I was surprised no one mentioned it, vote at 16. I think that's a critical thing that has to change. I know my colleague Senator Fintan Warfield has introduced a bill, but there are parties here that support that as well, voting at 16.
So the government is committed to introducing votes for 16-year-olds for the local and European elections in 2024. Unfortunately, to do it for general elections, presidential elections or referenda will require a constitutional amendment and indeed a referendum. That's not being ruled out.
Going to a door and somebody saying, oh no, I don't think I'll vote, and they were in their 40s now. I don't vote. And I went to another door where somebody was turning 18 a few days after the election, and they were devastated. And I was thinking, if only I could swap the vote from that person to that person. It's part of our party's policy to reduce the voting age to 16.
Obviously, our party has had a long-standing commitment to lower the voting age to 16. It's been tried in other jurisdictions.
We want all young people in Europe to be able to vote in the European elections at the age of 16. Why can't we do that here in this country? It's so simple, and it just works. And they're not anyway foolish when it comes to voting.
Senator Byrne went through the countries that have already lowered the age. Those countries haven't fallen apart. Things haven't fallen down around us when 16-year-olds got a vote.
Regina Doherty, you've backed a bill in the Seanad now to bring the voting age down to 16. Why do you think that's the right way to go?
The young people who want to be heard around climate change, around issues, of world peace, around that, they will make their voices heard, and we as politicians will have to sit up and listen.
I also want to see votes extended to people at 16.
Reducing the voting age to 16, it's something I firmly believe should happen.
I also believe that the voting age in political elections should be lowered to 16 years.
Do you think they should have the vote at 16?
I think it's a discussion worth having.
Voting age, something that the Labour Party agrees on and we fully support.
It's been a long-standing commitment of Sinn Féin to lower the voting age to 16.
The Convention on the Constitution 2013 recommended reducing the voting age to 17 and 16 years of age, respectively. It is clear that there is a mandate for change.
I would like to see participation at as early an age as possible. I think 16 is a good age to start. And I learned how advanced children are from the age of 13 or 14. So I'm not afraid of 16-year-olds going into a polling booth and voting.
Sinn Féin want to lower the voting age to 16. We support this.
So it just proves how important young voices are, especially when discussing climate change, and this bill proposes to reduce the voting age in Ireland to 16.
I also support the reduction of the voting age to 16.
I think we need to look at giving the franchise of votes, certainly in local elections, in the next local elections, to 16-year-olds.
It is a missed opportunity to lower the voting age to 16.
Because we have tried several times to get young people votes at 16 in this chamber, and unfortunately we haven't been successful.
My personal held view is that I would like to see the voting age reduced. Absolutely, I would. That has long been my own personal view.
Labour youth have consistently supported and campaigned on in reducing the age to 16, and it's something I thank them for because